this is my favorite part of the show. I go back and forth. I love the question of the day, but the end of the show is the credit score kiss. Kiss is for keep it smart and simple, and that's where I give you some an action item for you to do to help you increase your credit score or increase your knowledge about the system altogether. So today, our question actually comes from Eric. Eric is out of Indiana. And today, the question of the day is sponsored. It's sponsored by Cute as a Cupcake and Bake Shop, where the cupcakes are more than cute, they're delicious. Cute as a Cupcake is located in Maryville, Indiana, 2008 West 81st Street. Again, it's 2008 West 81st Street in Maryville, Indiana. Cute as a Cupcake. Cute as a Cupcake. So get by there, everybody, and tell them that the 800 credit score man sent you. So, the question of the day, Eric from Indiana says, should I apply for my mortgage first? And then let them tell me what I need to do for my credit, or should I just go ahead and fix my credit first? So, Eric, this question, Eric from Indiana, this question is really a softball. If you've listened at all, if you've listened to me at all, you would know that I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you start thinking, just thinking about, I'm going to buy me a home, it's the end of 2016 now. You've decided that one of your New Year's resolutions is that in 2017, you are going to finally get into a home. You start thinking about it. You want to do two things. The first thing you want to do is start saving money. Saving money for your down payment. I don't care if you're only putting down 3%, you got a veteran's loan, or if you're putting down 5% or 20%. Whatever it is, you want to start saving money, and you want to save that money in a place where you can document it. So not in your mattress, not in a briefcase, not in a safe deposit box. You want to save it in a regular account where you can go and you can show the mortgage company, here is the money that I had. Even if you're going to get gifted some money from your parents or from someone else, make sure you save it in a place that can be documented. And then two, you want to work on your credit. So when you start thinking about buying a home, you want to make sure that you start working on your credit. And here's why. So once you put that application in, when you go to a mortgage broker or to the bank or wherever, basically you're stuck at that number. So say you walk in and you happen to have 680. 680 is good enough to get a mortgage. It's no problem. Your interest rate is going to be higher, of course. You might have to jump through a couple more hoops, but you have a 680, and you have some things that you can clear up on your credit report. You have some things that are bad, some things that are old, a collection that shouldn't be on there, or an old judgment or something of that nature, a tax lien. The mortgage company, the underwriter, is going to make you clear those things up anyway, because they can't have you having collections and someone placing a lien on a property or stopping it from going through because you owe someone else some money. So you're going to have to clear those things up anyway. So it's best for you, financially, it's best for you to go ahead and clear those things up prior to you submitting an application for a mortgage. Because then if your credit score goes up in the next month or month and a half or whatever it is after you've cleared those things, when it goes up, then that's the number they're going to work off of, which hopefully will be higher, and it'll help you get a better interest rate. And when you go into to an application mode for a mortgage, they're going to pull all three credit bureaus. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Typically, they take the median. They take the mean. So that if you have a 700 on one, this is a bad example, but if you have a 700 on one, a 750, and an 800 on the other, then you're going to have an average of 750, and that's where they're going to base your interest rate off of. So you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. When you start looking at your credit, make sure you look at all three credit bureaus as well, so you can get the lowest interest rate possible. So make sure that you do that, because all the credit bureaus are not the same. Some information may be missing, some other information may be incorrect on one, and if you're able to correct those things and get your score to increase, the better off you're going to be. So thanks a lot, Eric. I appreciate you so much. I thank you for contacting me at 800 creditscoreman@gmail.com. And I hope that answers your question. Again, the question of the day is sponsored by Cute as a Cupcake, Cupcakery and Bake Shop, located in Maryville, Indiana, 2008 West 81st Street in Maryville, Indiana. So thanks a lot, Eric. And thank you very much, Cute as a Cupcake. So let's get back into some tips, you guys. So let me tell you about this one. So I want you to check your credit report regularly. You need to do that. I've given out my strategy and how I do it and why I do it when I do before. So go back and listen to some of the previous shows and you'll be able to hear that full explanation. But you should check your credit report regularly. You get the opportunity to check it 3 times a year. Well, you get the opportunity to check it once a year on a 12-month rolling basis. But there are 3 different credit bureaus. So I do not check all 3 of them at the same time. Now, if you have gone to my website, which is creditscoreman.com, if you've gone to my website and signed up for the 5-day free challenge, you have checked all 3 of yours. So you can use a different system like a Credit Karma or credit.com or someone of that nature to check your credit bureaus as well. So it's that time of year now. That's why I bring it up. It's that time of year right now for you to check your credit report. I check my credit report every November at one of these credit bureaus. Every November before I go holiday shopping. I check it to make sure that everything is right. Make sure that all the things, that my balances and whatnot are in par or on par with what I think they are and what my credit card companies have to say, or even with my card or what have you. So check it in November. I check it before I do all my holiday shopping to make sure everything is okay. So check it now. Now you can go to www.annualcreditreport.com. Again, that's www.annualcreditreport.com. Go there and you'll be able to get the opportunity to check your credit bureau from any one of the 3 credit bureaus. And I suggest you pick one over the other. If you've never done it before, I'm going to suggest now that you pick Experian. If you sign up with a Credit Karma, you'll be able to get 2 of the 3 credit bureaus. Experian is not one of them. So get Experian there and check your credit report for errors. And that's any kind of error. They have your birth date wrong, or if they have your address wrong or whatever, make sure you check that. Then I also want you to go ahead and check your credit report in February. And why do I pick February? So since I could check mine in November before I do a bunch of shopping for the holidays, then in February, some of the things that you have charged and what have you will finally be on your credit report. It is not instantaneous, people. So you can't make a purchase necessarily on Friday and expect it to be on your credit report on Monday. Same thing if you make a payment or you have something to fall off of your credit report because you paid it, or if it falls off because it timed out. If it happens on a Friday, it's not going to be reflected on the next Monday. So make sure that you get that leeway. That February is a good time for you to go ahead and check it. Also, it'll help you protect yourself against fraud. So with it being the holiday season, you might be spending more money than you usually are, maybe in stores that you're not familiar with and what have you. Hackers right now are diligently working on your favorite stores, trying to steal your information. So this can help you protect yourself. For me, of course, I check it 3 times a year there, but I also am signed up with Credit Karma. I'm signed up at credit.com. I'm signed up everywhere where I can check my credit report, and I check my credit report on a weekly basis, but that's me. This is what I do. So you can do those things. Now, 2 things on this subject about the hackers and making sure you check it. February, again, like I said, gives enough time for the bureaus to update. There are 2 million plus people on this system. So the bureaus do not update exactly when you make your payments. They are once a month when they do their updates. And I don't know what that date is, but they update once a month. So make sure you go and do that in February. And then again, you get the protect yourself. And when you're protecting yourself, here's what you want to look for on your credit report. Check for inquiries. Make sure you look at the inquiries tab, see who has been checking your credit report. If there's something on there you don't recognize, make sure you give them a call and see when and where and all of those things, because you're basically being your own fraud protection. Look for inquiries that'll tell you any and everybody who's looking to potentially get credit in your name. So make sure that you do that, and check for new accounts. Oftentimes on some of these sites, then there's a tab there too for new accounts. You'll be able to look in that portion and see if there are new accounts. And maybe you forgot something. Maybe you were just out somewhere and you forgot that you signed up for a card somewhere at a store or what have you. Check new accounts and remind yourself. Maybe you didn't get your new card in the mail. Check this, and this will help you out and help reduce fraud for you as well. So again, I check my Credit Karma and my Credit Sesame and my Credit.com on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, checking for fraud and all those things as well. So there you go. So look, check this out. I can't believe it is almost time for the end of the show. I haven't shouted out anybody or anything of that nature. So I definitely have to shout out two people. I got to shout out two people. They share a birth date. I want to shout out Lil Rashonda Williams. She had celebrated her birthday this week. And I also want to shout out John Henry or Junior. I want to shout him out. He celebrated a birthday this week as well. Junior is not only a relative of mine, he is also one of my frat brothers. So shout out to you and Yo. Thanks for listening to the show. I know you and Toya do on a weekly basis. So thank you guys for listening to the show as well. So I want to make sure I shouted those two individuals out. And I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you ate too much and then you got all the bargains that you wanted to get and all those things as well. I really hope you did. Now, before we get out of here today, I want to say the New Year is coming up. It's only, 4 or 5 weeks before the new year. Now, one of everybody's New Year's resolutions always seems to be about something about finances. You want to save more money. You want to put more money in a 401k. You want to make sure that you have a good budget. All of those things, along with, of course, getting healthier, eating right, drinking more water, whatever it is, stop smoking, whatever it is, resolution time is coming up. So part of your financial resolution for the year 2017 is your credit score comeback. That's what I'm naming 2017. It's your credit score comeback. So be on the lookout from me, something about the credit score comeback. I may want you to join my new Facebook group that may be entitled the Credit Score Comeback, but be on the lookout for that. So 2017, make that part of your resolution, your financial resolution, for you to get your credit correct and you not have any issues going forward with your credit. So 2017 is upon us, you guys. So let me recap real quick. I want to recap a little bit on some of the things I said. One, I want you to look at your credit report. Go to www.annualcreditreport.com. Again, that's www.annualcreditreport.com, and take a look at your credit report. I said use Experian because you're also going to go ahead and do something else as well when it comes to your credit report. So go there and look it up. Number two, pay down your balances. Now, I didn't really talk about this portion, but here's something that can increase your credit scores on a relatively quickly basis. If you are able, pay down the balances on your credit cards. Your utilization only really deals with your credit cards. So if you get to 30% of whatever your limits are, example, if you got $10,000 worth of limits, I don't care if you got that over 10 cards. If you get it down to $3,000, your credit score should go up. And the lower you get it, the better for you. So if you're at 30% and you can knock it down to 25% and then knock it down to 15%, your credit score should increase. The third thing, increase your limits. So maybe that's a possibility if you increase your limits. So if you've got $10,000 worth of limits and then you increase it and you get an increase and you get to $15,000, then for you to get to that 33%, then you're just a little bit under $5,000 where you can get there. So maybe you want to look into increasing your limits as well. And then also, if your score has moved in a positive direction, call up those high rate credit cards and ask them to lower your rate. Ask them to lower your rate. Some of us, again, are sitting at 24 and 19%. Personally, I have a 5.99%, and I called, and I didn't even expect that. I started out at a 14%.